Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakaf Wadash. With double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of the video is It's the Final Countdown Doomsday Clock. Right, and basically the Doomsday Clock, I should have put what it hit. I might add that to the title. It's the final countdown. Doomsday Clock hits. They have it at 84 seconds, I believe, which we're gonna go look at it right now. But yeah, it's the final countdown, Doomsday Clock, right? And I got some precepts regarding time periods and things like that to go along with it. But ultimately, I'll play this video. This is breaking news. Obviously things are not getting better because the Doomsday Clock actually went closer to zero, right? And say the same. It didn't go back up or anything like that. It went down. So things are getting worse. Right? The scriptures say, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them. Right? And so that's what they have to look for to is destruction. Right? And that's why the clock is counting down.
The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientist is a publication founded by Manhattan Project scientists. They understood that the technology that they had just created, the new age that they had really started, would necessitate a broad public conversation about the military, political, scientific, ethical issues that this new technology had created.
I used to think about the bulletin as, because of the name of Atomic Scientists, it was about nuclear war. But since 2007, the bulletin has included climate change as a threat to our well-being.
Look at what happened with COVID. That's not something anybody expected to happen, and it happened and is continuing to happen. We have not eliminated COVID from our world. So we don't have a choice at the bulletin but to include the biological risk in our calculus of the doomsday clock.
The doomsday clock symbolizes the risk to humanity from the collection of dangerous technologies and activities that humans are responsible for.
Using the clock, the bulletin's able to inform the public about the nature of the threats facing humanity and to encourage them to actually get more involved, to take action, and to be aware of whether or not we're moving closer to or farther away from our own destruction.
Last year, the bulletin set the doomsday clock at 89 seconds to midnight, the closest to disaster it's ever been. So now the question is, how does this year compare to last year?
So the deliberations of the Science and Security Board that sets the doomsday clock every year are pretty intense. In the past, it's often been quite complicated and hard to come up with the movement of the clock in a defined time. We didn't have those challenges this year.
In every area, we have failed to take the steps that are necessary to reduce risks, and there are new developments in every area that make the risks greater.
In nuclear, we are seeing leaders across the globe with nuclear weapons accelerate their development of new weapons, talk about arms racing and trying to outdo the other, the possibility of resuming nuclear testing, deploying new, more dangerous types of nuclear weapons, and active conflicts among and between nuclear states and in regions of nuclear tension. You have now many countries around the world investing tens of billions of dollars to modernize and diversify their nuclear arsenals. You're seeing the leaders of those countries talk more willingly about the utility of nuclear weapons, not just in a political sense. Can we use our nuclear weapons to deter our adversary, or can we use our nuclear capability to coerce our competitors into certain actions, but to actually use nuclear weapons on the battlefield, as Russia has threatened to do, as Pakistani officials have threatened to do. And you see what we refer to as arms race instability. And this is how we ended up with over 70,000 nuclear weapons between the United States and Soviet Union during the Cold War. The decline has stopped, and we're now seeing the growth begin again, and the potential for a worldwide arms race is upon us. In 9 days, the last remaining agreement between the United States and Russia that limits the number of strategic nuclear weapons they can each possess and deploy will expire, and there is no agreement to replace it. So for the first time in generations, both of these countries will be free to deploy as many nuclear weapons as they want or believe they need. That is the fundamental spark for what could be a nuclear calamity.
Every year, the fever goes up. Every year, we break another record. The warmest 10 years are in the last 10 years. There's a metabolism to the planet, the ecosystems, the oceans. There's a whole metabolism. And the fever that's in a warming temperature is damaging everything. It's influencing everything. Since the 1800s, since the Industrial Revolution,
And then we realized that there were other areas of emerging technology that could, if not properly managed, pose a threat to the survival of humanity, that could pose the risk of catastrophe. Artificial intelligence, like large language models, have become increasingly powerful and now can create photos, videos that look just like the real thing and can be used to spread disinformation very effectively. We've seen this even from President Trump using such videos to try to persuade people that things have happened that have not happened, that there are perhaps riots in a location or acts of war that aren't fake. A particular concern I have is placing weapons in space as part of the President Trump's proposed Golden Dome, which has called for the placing of missile defense interceptors in space. And while those would not be probably useful in protecting us against nuclear attack, they would be able to be used against other objects in space. And this could trigger a competition with Russia and China to place their weapons in space and pose the possibility of a war in space.
AI and bio are not necessarily things that if they came together, they would be horrible and terrible and negative. We can use AI to help us respond better, be more efficient, have a better idea of what do we have.
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Alexandra Bell, and I am the president and CEO of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. It is the determination of the Bulletin's Science and Security Board that humanity has not made sufficient progress on the existential risks that endanger us all. We thus move the clock forward. The Doomsday Clock is a tool for communicating how close we are to destroying the world with technologies of our own making. The risks we face from nuclear weapons, climate change, and disruptive technologies are all growing. Every second counts, and we are running out of time. It is a hard truth, but this is our reality. It is now 85 seconds to midnight. This is the closest the world has ever been to midnight.
There you go. So they moved it further to midnight, all right? Which means things are getting worse. This is Matthew 16:1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. So the prophets are here telling you that you don't have any time, right? Now is the time to seek the Lord Yahweh Bashmel Shai while he may be found before that thing hits zero. They won't have a chance to make it hit zero, right? Maybe when the nukes are hit, they might run to the office and joke and put it to zero, but they won't have that time. This is 2nd Esdras 9:1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world and have a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and ends and effects and signs. Right, and the signs are here, right? And the prophets are pointing those things out. Look over here, uproar of the people. Look over here, earthquakes. Look over here, tempests and storms. Look over here, martial law. Look over here, insurrection, sedition among men. Look over there. The prophets been out warning you, right? The prophets just got on the scene. Going back to the 1960s, right? Habakkuk 2:1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I reprove. And the Lord Yahweh Bashmel shall answer me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So the prophets are carrying the correct message, so you're able to understand, what's about to happen. It says, for the vision is yet on appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because they will surely come, it will not tarry. And that's where we're at. The vision is speaking. All the prophecies mentioned in the scriptures, we're pointing those things out and warning the whole world, letting some people know that they need to hurry up and get in, get protected, get under the wings of Yahweh Bashem Shai, right, and telling the others that you're going to be destroyed. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and 37. It says, by measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. Job 14 and 4. It says, who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Turn from him that he may rest till he accomplish as an hireling his day. So Esau has a set time, right? That he's gonna be ruling. That's why the scriptures say Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And we're entering that time now where the time is being fulfilled. All right. This is Revelations 9 and 13. It says, and the 6th angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar, which is before Yahweh Bashem Shai, saying to the 6th angel, which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, or to slay the 3rd part of men. So as you see, is a set time that these angels will be loosed to bring this World War III, which is fastly approaching. It says, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. Now this goes in 200 million, and it goes into the number of missiles. And you heard the guy talk about the nuclear warriors, right? The nuclear. He said the START treaty is about to end, and they're going to be able to just increase. And with everything happening, tensions in space, tensions in the Arctic, tensions in the Middle East, tensions in these different areas in the world, that's exactly what they're going to do. All right. It says, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone. And the heads of the horses were as the head of lions, and out of the mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Now John the Revelator seen a vision of these nuclear missiles, right, being sent. It says, by these 3 was the 3rd part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouth, right? For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Now this goes into, again, the nuclear missiles being shot where? Ultimately on Israel and America, right? It says, and the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues yet repented not of the works of their hands. So even when these nuclear missiles are shot, and the elect are watching this from the chariots, after they got picked up, to save them from the nuclear destruction, that doomsday event, there are people that didn't, get destroyed are not even repenting. So there's going to be people left alive, right? That's why we say the nuclear missiles are going to hit America and Israel. Nothing will be left after those nuclear missiles hit those areas, because you get Joel, the 2nd chapter, it goes into the fact that the land is before them as the Garden of Eden, and after them a desolate wilderness. Okay, it says, and the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornications, nor of their thefts. Right? So, that time is fastly approaching, and as you see, it's not getting better, it's only getting worse. All right, so this is breaking news, blowing the trumpet on that. Lord willing, you are edified from the lesson. Shalom to the whole elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.